back and she punishes and ties up all the people who are keeping Krishna in Vrindavan. He's very powerful. He's got money. Just like we see nowadays, if you have money, you have justice. If she has money, she can tie up the residents. She wants Krishna back. So this is the battle that goes on in Lakshmi Vijay. And Krishna then, he says to the residents of Vrindavan, I have to go back. There's still a few demons left. I don't want them to come here and bother you. So I have to go back. And he doesn't come back. And of course at that moment, all of the residents of Vrindavan go back to Goloka Vrindavan. And they leave shadow images of themselves. Just like nowadays they have, heliograms where you can, this is what, so he had better technology. We have it's just some light. He could leave the whole person, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Mai, the gopis, the cowherd boys, Raktak, and all of the residents, but and they were functioning, but they were just like demigods, big personalities who were just taking over for some time because Krishna didn't want Vrindavan to be left alone, and he went back to Dwarka to finish up his pastime. And this is very soon. This is right after the killing of Dantavakra. And so, not very long after that, there's the Rajasuya sacrifice. And then Krishna began to prepare for himself to go back to Goloka Vrindavan. And so, that is why Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra look like that. They want to go to Vrindavan. So we should be anxious also. One aspect of Jagannath is that he's showing us how much bliss there is in Vrindavan. Otherwise, when we see him, we should think, Vrindavan is so wonderful that this is the effect. And of course, probably my hands don't go into my body, my feet don't go into my body, I don't get big eyes like this or a big smile, at least a little smile. But we should smile within our heart. That should be happening within our heart when we can go to Vrindavan. Now so many people go there like tourists. I see you go to Vrindavan and people taking pictures. Here I am at such and such a place. But a devotee, the deities, even the deities of the Lord, they teach us. Just like here we have a bunch of tattva. So they're all teaching us that the main activity in this Kali Yuga is to chant the holy name. Therefore we see when people chant the holy name, they raise their arms. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. So we learn this from Panchatattva, from Bornita. So what do we learn from Jagannath? How anxious we should be to go to Vrindavan. But not to go physically necessarily. To go, that one's heart should be in Vrindavan. When Srimati Radharani met Krishna in Kurukshetra, she was thinking, here's Krishna, he's the same Krishna, I'm the same Radharani. But she thought, other people, their mind and their heart are the same. Otherwise, whatever we think about, that's where our heart goes. Therefore, Deyadovishayam Pumsam. Krishna says, be careful what you meditate on, because it might end up by fixing your mind on some object within this world. Then Sangas Teshu Bhajayate, then you develop an attachment. And that attachment leads you to have a desire for that object. And if you don't get the object, you become angry. So it starts a whole chain of difficult events. So we have to be careful, because our mind is very powerful, and it will take our heart to everywhere except where it should be. But Srimati Radharani says, most people are like that, but not me. My heart never leaves Vrindavan. My heart is always situated in Vrindavan. My mind is in Vrindavan. My existence is in Vrindavan. So this is what Lord Jagannath is telling us, that you should always be in Vrindavan. Even if you're here in Delhi, but your heart should be in Vrindavan. Otherwise we should be hearing Krishna's pastimes. Especially at night. All of you are from the technological generation, and cell phones are like an extension of the body, and maybe second brain, or maybe first brain. The one in here is secondary brain. So but we have to think that Vrindavan, this is our home. Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, these three places. Actually, Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter, and he said, we must establish 3 big temples. One in Mayapur, one in Vrindavan, and one in Jagannath Puri. Prabhupada wanted a big temple, a big project like we have in not as big as Mayapur, but at least as big as we have in Vrindavan. We should have that in Jagannath Puri. Because these are the main deities. And I will conclude with this only because I have another program. And I just came from one. And I have this short opportunity to get your association. And then I have to go to another one. And take some prasadam also. And so, how do we, these are our main deities. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Radha Krishna, and Gornitai or Gauranga. Sometimes Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he established Mahaprabhu Radha Krishna. Mahaprabhu Sri Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. No difference. So when we have these 3 deities, now here we have Sitaram, but traditional would be Jagannath. Not Sitaram because everybody is very attached to Ramachandra. But normal Gaudiya Vaishnava established by our line, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada. Now we have Jagannath, and Jagannath is on the left side of the deities. And why is that? Because that is the side where Radharani is. Jagannath is looking for Radharani. He's looking for Vrindavan. And therefore he's on that side looking toward Radharani. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is in the mood of Radharani looking for Krishna. So Gornitai is on the right side looking for Krishna. So these are our traditional deities, and that's why these 3 deities are like that. And in the center is Radha and Krishna. In the center is Vrindavan. And that's why Vrindavan is so important. Whether you're in Dwarka, or Jagannath Puri, or whether you're in Mayapur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always wanted to go to Vrindavan. And Dwarkadish always wanted to go to Vrindavan. And so these deities, they also represent that on our altar, that they all want to come to find the object of their desire. So Vrindavan Dham will be the object of our desire. And therefore, at night, especially, we should hear about the pastimes of Krishna. Not cell phone, WhatsApp, Facebook, and all these other things that exist. I don't even know what they are. I don't have any of them. I have WhatsApp because I have to, but I don't like it. But you all grew up with these things, so this is like, you must have it. Just like I met one young man, he said, I said, he was going with me, and I said, you can just leave your cell phone. Oh, no, just leave my cell phone. saying you leave your head, leave your head here. But at least we have to separate our heart from the cell phone, and place the heart in Vrindavan. And cell phone is a tool. I usually call it black hole. Like scientists are saying black hole sucks up everything. So I can see the cell phones are sucking up the consciousness of the people. And all your consciousness goes into that little black hole, and hopefully it'll come out. So with all these wonderful technological wizardries that science is offering us, and Apple and Android, and they're all offering us all these wonderful things to keep our mind free from Krishna. We have to be very careful to use them only for Krishna. And then everything can be purified in Krishna consciousness. So even the cell phone can be purified. You can even chant Hare Krishna. I put a video on there, chanting Hare Krishna. Then you can accustom your cell phone to be in the proper consciousness, so that always worshiping Krishna. So these are some aspects of the yatra, of Jagannath. It's not the yatra, like I said. Actually, the first Nandi yatra I explained the other day, I think some of you were there, and that the first Nandi yatra was millions of years ago. King Arjuna, he organized the first Nandi yatra. But he didn't realize the actual purpose. The actual purpose is that the Lord can be with Lakshmi and then escape to Vrindavan. But he didn't realize there was no Vrindavan. Vrindavan didn't exist in his vocabulary. There was only Nilamadava. Nilamadava came in a different form. That was Bhagavad. And for so many millenniums and centuries have passed since that time, and nobody fully understood. Few devotees may understand. There's always someone who can understand, but they could not reveal it. What is the actual purpose? What is the actual form? But we are so fortunate that we have the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who reveals to us the real purpose of Rath Yatra, the real purpose of Snati Yatra, the real purpose of Jagannath Puri. Jagannath Puri is considered, this will be my last remark, considered to be the place where the highest ecstasy takes place, even more than Vrindavan. Because Radharani is in Kurukshetra, and in Kurukshetra, which is Jagannath Puri's replica of what's going on in Kurukshetra. Every day is Kurukshetra in Jagannath Puri. So Radharani is there, and Krishna is there. So she's with Krishna, but she feels total separation. This is called Prema Vaicitya. And this Prema Vaicitya is considered to be the highest ecstasy. So even higher than the separation felt in Vrindavan. Because the separation felt in Vrindavan, Krishna is not there. So there's a possibility to find Krishna. But when she's in Kurukshetra, Krishna is there and she can't be with him. That's even greater separation. No. Just like people sometimes they go visit someone in the prison. They're right there, but you can't touch them. Maybe just like you can't have any rasa. Just and so this is another very special aspect of. That's why Govinda Maharaj, he would always say, and because Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur spent his last days in Jagannath Puri, and he was born in Jagannath Puri, and he spent his last days there. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that was his favorite place. He begged to be stationed there. Why? Because this is the place of the highest ecstasy between Radha and Krishna. And so, of course, in Vrindavan they'll say the same. And in Mayapur they'll say the same. That Mahaprabhu is all of that in one person. But And in one sense, he is. He is Prema-Vaicitya happening within himself. Because he is, sometimes he's Krishna, sometimes he's the Supreme Lord, and sometimes he's the devotee. So sometimes he's Krishna looking for Radha, wanting to go to Vrindavan, and sometimes he's Radha looking for Krishna, and just trying to find Krishna. So these are some aspects. I wish I could spend more time with you, but I have these other engagements. And I want to especially thank all of you for taking Krishna consciousness so seriously. Please understand that there's only one thing to do in life, which is to serve Krishna. Everything else is just for maintaining the body. However many years you're studying in the university, it's only for maintaining the body. And maybe some other bodies in the future. Somebody has a family. So that's all you're doing. So if it takes you 15 years or more to learn how to take care of the body, how much more time should you spend learning how to serve Krishna? So I always make that point. So whatever time you're giving, at least you have to give 3 times more to your Krishna consciousness. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanandi. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. So we would like to thank Maharaj, and we have special Gajvej darshan of Lord Jagannath. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan ki jai. Shri Gaunitai Bhagwan ki jai. Hare Krishna. So all the best devotees has wonderfully